Alrighty then. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. Hello, good evening, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We are live here from Kuwait, and I extend a very warm welcome to all our viewers on behalf of Indian Muslim Association. I am Adnan Tonse, your host for the Ramadan talk today. We hope you've been staying safe and taking the necessary COVID precautions out there. It's the blessed month of Ramadan, and we are already halfway through, and we hope you've made the best of it so far. But hey, if you've been slacking, it's still the month of mercy, so time to pull up your socks and get going. Ramadan is the time to spread joy through selfless acts of charity and good deeds, and time to build your stronger relationship with your Creator and mend those with your family and friends. And we see no better time than this to promote communal harmony with our lovely friends from other communities as well. With that in mind, we have invited an impressive lineup of prominent guests here today, and boy, are you in for a great conversation. So stay tuned. Of course, we would have loved to have this conversation face to face, maybe over a nice iftar meal. But with the current COVID situation, it would only be responsible on our part not to have any physical gatherings. But that is not going to stop us from having a nice online conversation, is it? No, it is not. So without any further delay, allow me to introduce our panel to you. We have with us Mr. Jay Kumar, President of Tamil Nadu Engineers Forum. Welcome, sir. Next, we have Mr. Venkat Koduri, the ex-president of Telugu Kala Samiti. Welcome to you too, sir. Next up, we have Mrs. Shirley Dennis, principal of Indian School of Excellence. Welcome to you too, ma'am. Next up, we have Dr. Surendra Nayak, the ex-president of Indian Doctors Forum. Welcome to you too, sir. Last but not the least, we have Mr. Sharfuddin Sufi, Vice President of Indian Muslim Association. Welcome to you too, sir. Good to see you all over here today. Right off the bat, I'd like to keep the floor open and would like to know your experiences of Ramadan here in Kuwait. All of you have spent your fair share in the Middle East and Kuwait, and you've seen Ramadan through the time. So I'd just like to know, how has Ramadan been for all of you? Why don't we begin with you, Mr. Jaykumar?
Thank you. Thank you so much for this invite. This is my third time I'm attending this Ramadan talk, and I'm very grateful to you for inviting me. And I'm very impressed with the way like IMA is conducting these events, inviting the other religious people also from the other communities. Thank you so much at the outset. About my experience in Ramadan, like I'm here since 1998, so pretty like we have been habituated to follow a lot of the traditions over here. And as far as Ramadan fastings are concerned, like basically like as we are here for more than 20 to 23 years, like we have become like a part of this community, and the fasting has brought a lot of health benefits for us, because as far as I am basically from the Hindu tradition, mostly the ladies usually do fasting at home and other thing. We gents normally we don't fast. We try to take whatever we have it, and particularly at this month, at least we are enjoying the health benefits of it. So that's we are very grateful for being a part of this community. So that's my experience over here. And also like other way of thinking is like we think like Ramadan is like our Diwali here, because we do see the celebrations over here, and we are also a part of this community, and we enjoy all this Ramadan event, the Christian events, and the Diwali, everything here over here. Whereas in India, like normally we celebrate only our traditional events and other things. So it's like a multicultural experience what we get here in Kuwait. So that's our experience in Ramadan.
Absolutely. This multicultural experience is something we all look forward to, isn't it?
That's true.
How about you, Mr. Venkat? How has Ramadan treated you all these years?
Yes, thank you. Ramadan Kareem, and welcome to all dignitaries. And thanks to IMA inviting for interfaith relations, to develop the interfaith relation of the religions and everything. And good to know about each and every religion, beliefs and customs, and we respect each other. That is one most important thing nowadays, since the world is becoming a globalization. It is becoming like a village. That is one thing. And I used to tell always, as a metallurgist, once again, I would like to quote once again, the softest material on the earth is graphite and hardest material is diamond, both are from carbon. But only the thing is how you are going to construct the phase is the most important thing. That is only the thing how you are conducting this meeting to develop the interfaith relations is the most important nowadays in the need of the hour. Since of course you are doing since years together, but at this moment you know the pandemic is no religion, no caste, nothing. Just we have to respect each other. We have to stand as a brotherhood for everything. So once again, Ramadan couples, all my friends, I used to respect their this thing. Of course, I respect and follow Ramadan in Kuwait. I have seen several of my friends and everything. Of course, it is a health benefit, and this is the month the Holy Quran revealed to the world. So we have to respect. And one more thing, the Sunnah, which we are giving the benefits to the community, which we have to follow. And I hope that IMA is doing its best, not only keeping up their personal agenda, and as far as the society is concerned, they are doing best. And I have seen several workers working during amnesty, and as well as they are doing to the environmental, they have taken care in every angle they are doing. So I appreciate each and every wing of IMA. Once again, thank all IMA committee members. Thank you.
Great depth of knowledge over there. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, Mr. Venkat. Next up, how about you, Mrs. Shirley, ma'am?
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to this forum. I am privileged to be a part of this team, and I have been attending IMS is the first one, but other third, I think fourth time attending a interreligious meeting like. I'm very happy to be a part of that. This meeting itself is a proof to show that we belong. All human beings are a part of no community in that level. Absolutely. We long for the good of the society. That's what you proved yourself. Being born and brought up in a secular atmosphere in different parts of, I have been to different parts of India and had an experience of among the people, different communities, and what I observed in all the religions, we have the same thing of fasting, and with a different meaning. But in the end, that fasting itself got, as Mr. Ajay Kumar was telling, that ladies fasting for husbands and levels of fasting. After coming to Kuwait, I have experienced that the whole community, the whole country is fasting. I noticed one thing, it increases or tests our willpower. A person with a strong will be able to hold on, not eat anything during that time. And second, I tried observe fast for 2 consecutive years along with my friends to understand how difficult or easy to go with that. And I think I am very successful in that way. And I believe that the one who knows hunger knows the pain of a person who is hungry. And one who will go through that experience will understand the pain of the other person. Another beautiful thing I observed among the people during this time, that they, that money what they save during this month, they distribute among the poor people and distribute those who are less fortunate. That is one thing, hats off to everyone. We know that almost all the community doing the same thing. This is as a whole, the experience of being this whole month of Ramadan is a time to look back ourselves, understand ourselves, and being calm, quiet, and see that what is our purpose in this world. And thank you so much for getting us this experience. I really started looking at Ramadan month with a different after coming to Kuwait. And I always look forward to month because it's a month for us to test our own patience, our own hunger, and to understand the feeling of the other person. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, ma'am. I was looking forward to asking all of you if any of you have ever tried fasting. Looks like we do have experienced veterans here with us. Thank you, ma'am. Next up, Mr. Surendra. Would you like to share your experience with us, please?
Yeah, good evening, Adnan ji and Sharifuddin ji and all our esteemed guests. They have spoken all about Ramadan. I am left nothing maybe. Yeah, I am here in Ministry of Health working since last 20 years. Ramadan in India I have seen, but I did not experience the festivity of Ramadan in India so much. But in Kuwait altogether it's different. Everyone is involved, irrespective of their religions, in sharing the Ramadan greetings, and it's a whole Kuwait is a festivity mood. So what I noticed is the beautiful discipline among the Muslim brothers in the recharging their faith and increment to the charity and making apology and following the fast. And these are the Islamic pillars. They are following it dedicatedly in the month of holy month of Ramadan. We appreciate that, and we appreciate these gestures by the Islamic brothers. And as an IDF president, we used to hold every year the Ramadan Gapka. This is after the iftar. It's after the Isha prayers around 9 o'clock. We invite mainly Kuwaiti guests, Ministry of Health guests, and Indian business community and Indian doctors. We celebrate Gapka during this Ramadan as a major event of Indian Doctors Forum as a respect to the religion of this country. It's an Islamic country, and we enjoy this. We share our thoughts to increase the bond or between the India and Kuwait friendship bond. This is the 60th year of India and Kuwait friendship year. This year, unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we could not hold this Ramadan Gapka. Last 2 years, we could not hold. We are really missing the Gapka and the festivity mood in Kuwait. Thank you for inviting me. I don't want to take more time. Thank you.
Take all the time you want, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your thought with us. Pleased to have you here. I think all our guests have been very kind, not to mention the reduced working hours around here. I do believe you do pretty much enjoy that reduced working hours over here. Does anyone have any thoughts on that? How do you guys feel about that? Does it feel like a mini vacation out here?
Yeah, definitely. We get this reduced working. In the ministry, we go at 9 o'clock and come back by 1:30. Yeah,
Amazing.
actually, our work will be similar, almost similar, may not be reduced much, but we have to work within this time period of 4.5 hours. Yes, really, that is also, we look forward for this less working hours also, at least.
How about you, Mr. Jayakumar?
Less working hours since we are from our company point of view, we have been following this because of the pandemic. The similar working hours we were doing before Ramadan also, but unfortunately, what happened we don't feel the difference of Ramadan short hours as well as earlier hours also. But the workload is the same actually. So in fact, there is a lot of work at home burden has increased because of this, short period and everything. But we enjoy this one actually. So we can spend a lot of time with the family, but still work is another part. But we enjoy almost last year, almost we were enjoying the full Ramadan working hours. So that's a good decent way of
Right.
looking at it.
How's it been in the education sector, ma'am?
Exciting compared to last year. Those years when we were not having this lockdown system, we had a fixed working. And this time, I think I was feeling that working more than the time which is given, because in the school the time starting late, and the people start coming to visit the school office very late. So it went like almost every day I reach home by 5. Otherwise, I used to reach by 1:30. But
Right.
as Mr. Vijaykumar said, this year we are not able to understand the difference between this Ramadan and the lockdown, because it has come together.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we used to have a great timing, relaxed timing. But it's a relaxed time already that everyone is having. And evening, and we feel like okay, now the lockdown is getting over by 7 o'clock. That is where sorry, starting, and we have a time extended till 10 o'clock. That's a very good thing, at least this time.
Right, right. Thank you so much. Mr. Sharfuddin Sufi, would you like to share your thoughts on this? Amongst the panel, I believe you're the only one who I believe is taking part in the Ramadan rituals. From your perspective, what has Ramadan been in Kuwait? And what about the Ramadan timings for you?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Adnan, and all my friends participating in today's discussion. I'm an old timer in Kuwait, almost living in Kuwait from last 26 years. So Ramadan comes in a lunar month. You know, the calculation of month of Ramadan is lunar based, not solar based. So every year there will be 11 days difference. So I had a chance to see Ramadan in almost all seasons. So summer and winter and all seasons. So in winter season, Ramadan is more enjoyable because fasting time is only 10 hours, from 5 to 5. And in summer, it is a little bit hard because it's almost 17 hours. So this variation, you can see, this is the beauty of Ramadan, that people of every country get a chance to celebrate and to participate in the festivities of Ramadan and to fast, or in various seasons. Sometimes it's very long hours. For example, in country like Canada and France, it's almost 20 hours or sometimes more. So, but people fast. Every believer there fast. So this shows the steadfastness, and this is an important change I have seen also in Kuwait, that fasting in every season is different. One more thing is beauty of Ramadan in Kuwait compared to India. I have, being an Indian, and we used to have Ramadans in India also. But here, in Kuwait, the difference is the whole country participates because it's a Muslim country, and there are regulations, and you can see that the atmosphere of Ramadan everywhere. That is again a difference. One more thing is Ramadan is the month of Quran, and it is the month when Quran is revealed to human beings. And you can feel that it is a month of Quran, because Quran, one of the beauty of Quran is it can be recited beautifully. And the beauty of Quran is that among all the scriptures, Quran is the only book which can be memorized completely. It can be committed to memory. And the recitation is really attractive and beautiful. And when it comes to phonetics of any language, native speakers can pronounce any language better. Because Arabs are native speakers and Quran is in Arabic language, the recitation of Quran is very beautiful, very soothing here. And one more thing is the understanding of Quran. There is more opportunity here for the understanding of Quran. Quran is mainly came for understanding. Quran changed the society when it came in 7th century to Arabian country. It was not a developed country. But after a certain time of revelation of Quran, whole society changed. Every aspect of the society changed. So Quran has a revolutionary message to human beings to change their individual and their social life in a better way. So you can get a more chance to understand the Quranic message in this country. So that's also a beautiful thing. One more thing is intercultural understanding, and this is also there more in Kuwait, because in Kuwait you can see people from all over the world compared to any other part of the world. For example, in India, you will not find many people from foreign nations working in India. But in Kuwait, you will find more than 100 people from more than 100 nations are working in Kuwait. So you can find this kind of multicultural atmosphere when we go to mosque, when you go to any Ramadan related festivities. So this is also a beauty of Ramadan in Kuwait. So in general, also we can see that people are participating in charity and good deeds. And you can see that there are many, Ramadan kits are distributed and charity activities are in full swing. So this is also shows that goodness coming into fore in this season. This is also a good experience in the month of Ramadan. So this is what I have seen in Kuwait.
Thank you, Mr. Sharfuddin Sufi, for sharing your thoughts with us. Let's take the intensity of the questions up a notch now. I'd like to address the next question to Mr. Venkat and maybe have some inputs on the same question by Mr. Jaykumar next. So my question is, now everyone may be aware that Ramadan is the month of worship, a lot of charity. Especially I want to focus on the charity part of it. Muslims are giving out 2.5% of all their belongings annually. This is a mandatory charity, and this is estimated to be around anywhere between 500 million to a billion every year. Now every community has been doing their charity on their part. So what I wanted your input on was all this charity, the Ramadan activities, etc. How do you think it is impacting you and the society at large? Your inputs, please.
See, that is a good gesture actually. Everyone should learn out of this as a humans. They are always used to talk about that. And of course, it is reaching to all the people, irrespective of the particular community. I mean, if the Muslims are giving, that doesn't mean that it should go only to the Muslims. No, it is not like that. It is reaching to all the communities, irrespective of any religion, caste, and creed, and everything. That is one good part we have to understand, and we have to make it as a practice. Everyone should always. I used to tell, we make money, not God. But end of the day, everybody is running behind money, and we are forgetting about God. That is one way we have to understand. We should not run behind money as a, of course, we have to make money. That doesn't mean that we have to make money in illegal way. And as well as, everyone should be habitual to that. I used to do, of course, as this thing, but not like as a 2.5% or something like that. But I used to do my level best to the society and appreciate. Of course, I know this, and I appreciate all my Muslim brotherhood.
Excellent thoughts over there. Money was never ours. It is something that is bestowed upon us by the God, and we are judged upon how we make use of this money, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you so much for your input. Mr. Jaykumar, your thoughts. How has this impacted you? Has it impacted you?
When you talk about the giveaways and other thing, what we are doing in Ramadan, particularly we all come from an Indian community. Like we worship all God is the supreme power. How do we worship Him in different forms? That varies between our community or our brotherhood Muslim community. Like we have a lot of facilitators in between. Like whatever we worship, all the parts who are like each and everything which is helping us to survive. Whereas the ultimate God is one actually. But even in Hinduism or something, the same similarity is the dhanam, in the sense of dhanam is there actually. You give anything in any forms actually, like giving a cow or you name it, whatever it is there. But it is not defined as the exact part. I mean, that is an advanced version which is coming from Quran. A structured way of dhanam is already described in Quran, basically, as far as I know. But the community which we are coming from, almost a lot of things are similar. I mean, that's what we are all brothers. That's what one time we all were in the same community part. So it's the karma, the goodwill, everything is there, similarity actually. But again, it's all, I think, structured way of describing the things. So we also do take part in a part of not exact the definition of zakat, but again in a different format actually. So it's always and also the Ramadan month is also giving us some sort of holy feeling, at least in a year. So being a part of this Kuwait community, so we feel all our brothers here.
That's amazing. Yeah, true. Once you start looking deep into it, I believe all of us are pretty much the same, isn't it? Regardless of the religion. Yeah. Thank you so much for your input, sir. Let's move on to the next question. I'd like to address this to Mrs. Shirley, ma'am, and maybe have inputs from Dr. Surender on this. We at IMA believe that a strong interreligious understanding is the basis for communal harmony in our society. You, ma'am, being in the education sector, what would your advice be to promote this interreligious understanding?
Thank you so much. To talk about the interreligious, I just caught the word of our greatest Indian social reformer, Swami Vivekananda. He is that when people are ignorant, they say that their religion is better than the other one. Once the wisdom dawns them, they say that all are one. Exactly. The religion as itself not created by God, it's created by the human beings. And when they created this part, it had a greater meaning for the benefit. And I feel that this forum, what you have thought about mutual understanding or communal harmony, this forum or this meeting itself is a proof of that. People think alike and having feeling that religion should not come in a way in our activities. And during this pandemic situation, we have already faced, as in the there are so many parents who could not pay the fees, who are lost their job and who are affected by this situation, and there was no religion at all. The people came forward, and I must appreciate all the Indian associates under the umbrella of Indian Embassy distributed the food kits to different people everywhere, and as we could help more than 100 parents of our own school to get this kit. And I must thank, we have seen that religion is not an important matter at the time of kind of calamities or any kind of challenges come in our way. And challenges are always they're coming on way, and goodness is always exists. And the most beautiful thing which I wanted to share this time, I started the Ramadan and this association which have taken lead in distributing the food kits. They came and told that no Muslim family should not fast or should not have any difficulty at the time of Ramadan because they don't have money. So they were ready, asked us to give a list of the people who are not able to fast because they have no ration at all. And I'm very thankful to the association. Around 20 names we have given, and within 2 days, the kit was distributed to all the families.
Amazing.
And this is the other meaning of Ramadan. We are distributing ourselves. And I never felt a religiosity and spirituality totally different. And every religion means the same thing. Fasting is there, and in Christianity we have this, the 10th part of our income should be distributed. In the society, we have a social responsibility. What I earn is a part of, we have, all the other person also have a right in our income, which is not our work, it's a creator's help for us. And I request and I encourage this kind of platforms to encourage the open talks. Let us look beyond our limit, small things, to look a little far ahead and see that religion is in everyone the religion of love, religion of sharing, religion of caring. If we believe three things, love, caring and sharing, I think this is the most wonderful religion of humanity. Thank you so much.
That's amazing, ma'am. A beautiful gesture from you and the school. Thank you so much. Dr. Surender Naik, I'd like to have your input on this too. You in your profession do come across various multiple faiths as your patients. So in your profession and from your life experience, what would your advice be to promote this interreligious understanding?
Yeah, Ramadan is a good time to, this iftar itself is a good example of interreligious faith. It will boost the understanding of each other's religion, respect for each other's religion. India being a secular country, we follow, we consider every religion is equal. Every person as a equally allowed to worship or do the prayers of his own religions. That's a great opportunity in India. In Kuwait, we are seeing, we have great friends from all the religions, patients are there. We don't discriminate. Religion comes the last. We see the human beings first. Then this is, I agree, Ramadan is the good time to build up or boost the inter-religious faith. I am very sure IMA Vice President, Mr. Sharfuddin, is a great leader in this building up the relation between the religions. I have attended many of the IMA programs, and even I have given a talk on the diet or something earlier, I remember, in the IMA. And Sharfuddin ji is taking a great lead in building up the relation and understanding each other's religions, communal harmony, tolerance, everything we are learning. This is a great period to learn all those things. I appreciate. I wanted to tell one more thing. Ramadan, this is away from the talk. Ramadan, he was explaining, Sharfuddin ji, beautifully. Ramadan is I did not know what is Ramadan. Now I know it is the 9th month in the Islamic calendar. And yes, every year it becomes 11 days earlier. And you may know or may not know, in the year 2030, in the English calendar, you will have 2 Ramadan in a year. We will have 2 times we may have to meet. I don't know.
That's something I did not know.
Yeah.
I guess all of us have learned something new here
it's
today.
It's a wonderful time. I agree fully. It's a wonderful time to boost our inter-religious understanding, to know each other's religion. Thank you.
That's great, Dr. Surinder Naik. Stay with us here. I would like you to answer the next one as well, and then maybe get input from Mr. Sharfuddin, sir. I thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Until next time, wear your mask, wash your hand, and maintain social distancing. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.